Hi, my name is Michael Holmes, and you're watching VidPros. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to repurpose content for social media platforms. So this is a very common request we get from our customers at VidPros, is to take a longer piece of content. It could be a webinar, it could be any sort of long form piece of content, and to chop it up into bite-sized pieces for social media, say Facebook and LinkedIn. And the three elements, I guess, that are in these types of videos is you're moving from a landscape video to a square video. So you're going to have some space basically on the top and the bottom, and you need to be able to fill that space. So what we do is we put in a progress bar. We also put in subtitles, because on these platforms, as you're scrolling through your feed, the sound is usually off. So it does help to have the subtitles explain what's going on. And then lastly, it's just putting in like some random graphics and titling to kind of fill some of the space that's left over once you convert it from the landscape to the square format. So we're going to use Premiere to do this today. And if you have that, you can follow along. So let's get started. So first we'll create a new project by clicking on File and then New Project, and we'll give it a name. And then click OK. Then in the lower left, you'll see the project window, which you could double click on to add assets, or you could press Command or Control I. Select all the files and import those into your project folder. And now we'll add a new sequence. You'll start with the presets and just make sure that those are the same frame rate as your original video. Now we'll go into the settings menu. We'll change the frame size here to 1080 by 1080. That'll make it a square video. And then we'll choose a name and then click OK. Now let's drag the video to the timeline, and if prompted, click on Keep Existing Settings. So you'll notice now that we have a sequence size that's less than the video size, the video will be zoomed in, but we're going to fix that. So the next step is to right-click on the video and click Set to Frame Size. Now black bars will appear on the top and the bottom of the video, but we'll use that space for graphics and titles. So the next step is to go through the video and make any edits that you're going to make, just so you have like the final audio of what you want to have going into the finished product. Now we're going to click on a new color matte. And you can choose whatever color you want here, but this is just going to be the color that appears on the top and the bottom of the video. So you'll drag your video up and then place the background underneath your video. And then just stretch it out to the entire video. Now the next step is to create the title. To do this, we'll go to Window and then Essential Graphics panel. Once open, click on a New Item and we'll choose Text here. So you can add in the title, whatever you want to put, and then do any number of styling here with the text as far as fonts and colors and how you want the text to appear. Now stretch this layer to cover the entire video. Now you can put in any graphic assets that you'd like to include in the video as well. Like, for example, if you have any logo that you would like to add to the bottom of the video, we've got a few for this project. So we're just going to stretch out these graphics onto the timeline as well. And then we can select all of them and choose the nest option. So it'll just be a little bit cleaner on the timeline and not take up so much space. And then that way we can kind of edit them all at one time. The next step is to create the progress bar. So we're going to go back to that Essential Graphics panel and we'll go to New Layer and choose Rectangle. So we'll get the progress bar however we want to size it in whatever position we want to put it in. And then once that's done, we'll duplicate the layer. We'll stretch these out onto the entire video. And for the top progress bar, we'll choose a different color. Now on the second layer, click on the shape, and then let's change the fill color to anything different basically, but we'll use a red for the purposes of this video. Okay, so now to animate the second layer, what we'll do is we'll select the second layer and we'll create a keyframe. So go to the first frame of the clip, choose the position value, and enter in -540, and then click on the clock. So you'll go a few frames forward, click on Reset Parameters, and this will give you another keyframe, which you'll just click and drag to the end of the timeline. Now we'll scrub the timeline here, and you can see it has like this animated effect as the second layer moves across the first layer. So this is basically the effect of creating the progress bar. So now the next step in the process is going to be to create the subtitles. We're going to use an app called Otter.ai for that, and I'll walk you through the process. So now let's export the video. You can hit Control or Command M to export. And to save space, we're going to use the export audio only option here. So we'll just uncheck the video. So once you have your file exported, you can go into Otter and choose Import Audio and Video. Once the file processes through Otter, it'll look like this. So there's a couple of ways of putting the subtitles into your video. One would just be to copy and paste the text as a separate text layer for each sentence, basically. So you would just copy and paste each line onto your video. So you'll see that just by doing a couple of these, this process is a little bit long and a little bit tedious, but there is a faster way, thankfully. So the downside is obviously the time it takes to do it this way, but using the text layer, you do have more styling options, I guess, on the subtitles. So there may be some situations where you would want to do it this way. So now let's discuss the second way, which is a lot more efficient, which is using the SRT file from Otter.ai. So click on the three dots, choose Export Text, and then SRT file from the dropdown. You can choose to adjust the max characters per line here if you want to have bigger or smaller text, basically. And then once you hit continue, you'll be able to download that SRT file, and then let's import it into Adobe Premiere. So we'll just hit Command I or Control I to import the footage and put it into the project, and then drag and drop it onto the timeline. So Otter is computer-generated subtitles, so it's probably about 90% accurate. So you'll want to go through these and check them for accuracy. So now we'll want to resize and stylize this text for the captions. So go to Window and make sure you have the Captions window available. Click on the Captions panel, then right-click and select all. So now we can make some adjustments here. Let's make the font size larger. We can change the background color or remove it. To remove the background, you can set the opacity to 0, and then we can change the text color. Now we'll use the bottom center value to make sure that the text is centered horizontally, and then you can change the Y value to adjust the positioning of where the subtitles are put in the video. So now that we've styled the subtitles, we can go through and just make sure that all of the wording is correct. And if we do need to make any edits here, we'll just click on the item that we want to edit, and then you go back into that Captions panel and then make whatever edits we need to here. So once you've added in your graphics and your subtitles and your progress bar, you can review the video one last time, make sure everything looks okay, and then you can export it. So that pretty much wraps us up on how to repurpose your content from the landscape to the square format for social media. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to put those in the space below the video. And lastly, if you or someone you know needs to have this type of work done, but maybe you don't have the time to go through all these steps, then it is something that we're happy to do for our customers here at VidPros. So check us out on the web at vidpros.io, and we'll also include a link for a discount off your first month if you are interested in giving the service a shot. We do offer a unlimited video editing service and are happy to do this type of videos as well as other types of videos for you. So check us out in the description, and thanks for watching.